guys, welcome back to Books and Beauty. I literally just finished the book, so if it looks like I've been crying, it's because I was. The emotional roller coaster that this series put me through. I'm trying not to cry because that's how good it was. Okay, this is From the Flames, Darkwood Academy Series Book 3 by Lynn Rhys. And if you haven't read the first two books, first of all, you shouldn't even be here except for me to tell you to go read the other two, because what are you doing? But yeah, we're gonna get into this real quick. Synopsis. Dear Kings, all three of you have a hold on my heart. I imagined our future years from now and the four of us living our best lives. It would be filled with nothing but love and happiness. Maybe we would marry, have kids, or even travel the world. Whatever it was, we would be doing it together. But that can never happen. My life is spiraling out of control. My sleep is haunted by nightmares, and any thoughts I had of the future are merely wishes that won't come true. My life has an expiration date. The only thing I can do now is try to survive tomorrow. My eyes are blurry. Dax and Mason and Colton, you all are my heart pieces. I'm just sorry I will never get a chance to live out my dreams with you. Love, Phoenix. And then, of course, especially when it comes to Miss Lynn Rhys, check your trigger warnings. If you read the other two books, then you already know. Okay? The trigger warnings is very, very extensive. Rating. 5 stars. 5 stars. With the first two books, I flew through those books like that. This book, it took me a few days. And I feel like mostly it's because it was the last book and I didn't want it to end because I love the character so much. And I don't know, it was a lot. It was a lot. You guys know how extensive the trigger warnings are. And like I always say, I personally don't have triggers, but like these books are hard to get through sometimes. But 5 fucking stars. 5 fucking stars. It was so good. It was so freaking good. So if you haven't read it yet, this is me telling you to go fucking read it. Seriously, just go do it. And if you have read it, stay here because we're about to talk about it. Okay, so if you guys remember where we left off at the end of book 2, baby girl, Phoenix, you know, she had been kidnapped by Justin Parker, aka Luciano, who was pretending to be her therapist. He kidnapped her and held her against her will and did so many heinous, terrible things to her. And in the end, we know that she ended up setting the house on fire, killing him. The guys ended up tracking her down, and Dax ran inside to help her. And like when the book ended, they were both trapped inside the house. And so reading, like starting the beginning of the book, child, like I know it's gonna end in a happily ever after, but I was still on edge because I'm like, if something happens to my baby Dax, I swear to God. But you know, they end up making it out, and it was this whole book was just chaos at every turn. Chaos at every turn because freaking Justin's brother, Anthony, I'm sorry. I think, yeah, Anthony. He shows up at Phoenix's hospital room like, oh, you killed my brother, and basically like you have something that we want, yada yada yada. And I'm just like, y'all are fucking crazy. And then she's like freaking out because of everything that's happened, and she's not entirely sure that the guys are actually there or not. She's freaking out, she's traumatized. And then you have Anthony coming in there, threatening her, threatening the guys, and so she freaks out and she runs away. And of course, you know, like, child, baby, Phoenix stressed me out in this book because too many times I'm like, bitch, you have the fucking mafia after you. There are too many times where you are alone, and it's, girl, even on campus, I'm like, there are too many people that don't like you and you're constantly alone. You're pissing me off. But yeah, you know, she runs away and that pissed me off. But what I actually liked is that she wasn't even separated from the guys that long. They found her quick as fuck. And I like the realness of her, I don't know how to put it. I like the realness of her emotions. Like, she's been through so fucking much in her entire life, and then especially in this short amount of time. And you know, she doesn't know how to process it. You know, the guys, they even say like, you know, she's going to need therapy again, but after what happened with Justin, you know, she's going to be apprehensive about that. And they tell her, they like, hey, if we like vet somebody and we know that they are who they are supposed to be, if they're 100% legit, like, will you agree to go? Because like, we don't know how to help you. And like, I love that. I love that about them. Like, I've said it before. It's rare for me to love all of the guys in a reverse harem, and I love all of these guys. I love all of these guys. I don't have any complaints about them. I have no complaints about them at all. I love them. They are not afraid to show their emotions. Like, they are extremely overprotective, maybe a little overbearing at times, especially Dax, but that's my baby. But no, I love them. But it was just the realness of like how she, you know, was blacking out, the nightmares when she would start stuttering. It was so real. Baby, the tears. The tears. Okay? I don't know why I was shocked when they went back to Darkwood, because, you know, Phoenix, she didn't want to go back there, but of course they're like, well, we have to come back eventually. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, where else would y'all have gone, you know? But they're like, oh, we actually got you into a dorm room you're gonna be sharing with Brooke. Now, Brooke is the girl that we got introduced to in book 2. And I wasn't able to reread book 2 before reading book 3, only because life, okay? Chaos. I haven't had a chance to reread book 2, and I still vividly remember everything that happened in book 2. And then I also watched my own review video of book 2 so that I could get a refresher of what was going on. But I remember, I don't remember which guys or if it was all of them, but I remember them running into Brooke and trying to figure out who she was, because they were like, who are you? Like, we don't recall you. You know, I think she was another transfer or something like that. And so like, I feel like they were intrigued or a little suspicious about her, but they were like, oh, you know, she seems nice, she seems good, blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, they got her in to share a room with them. Now, let me tell you something. When it comes to this series, I was kind of like fuck everybody, trust no one. And it was throwing me off because Brooke just seemed really fucking nice. But if we recall, when we, were introduced to Liz in book 1, we thought that she was nice. But yeah. So, with Brooke, I didn't suspect anything. I did not suspect anything with Brooke until the roses. I suspected nothing of Brooke until the roses because I'm like, y'all are in y'all dorm room, and Phoenix said she locked everything up. She locked everything up. Then she went into her bedroom. She locked the door. She got into the bed, and then she woke to a noise. And then, she immediately calls the guys, and she opens her door, and then there's just black roses all over the room. But then, the guys get there, and Phoenix is like, oh yeah, well, I heard something. And then they're looking at Brooke like, you ain't heard nothing? She's like, oh, no, I didn't. But I had music playing in my room, so that's probably why I didn't hear it. And then Colt is like, yeah, I don't see anything on the cameras, but, they could have looped it. And right then is when I got suspicious of her. That was when I got suspicious of her, because I was like, trust no one. Very highly suspicious. I was not a fan then. I just, no. I need to talk about Liz really quick, because I remember in book 2, I remember saying in my review video that I was upset that we didn't really get any interaction with Liz and Phoenix, because, after Phoenix tried to unalive herself at the end of book 1, when she came back to school, they had moved her dorm into that little raggedy building, and there was no interaction between Phoenix and Liz at all. But in this book, it was just so fucking weird, because all of a sudden Liz is like hanging on the skirts of the queens. She's being a bitch to Phoenix, and she keeps trying to talk to Phoenix, but Phoenix is basically like, fuck you, you're a cunt. Like, you're basically kissing their ass. You were supposed to be my friend, and you just left me. Like, all of that shit happened at the dance, and you were basically just like, fuck you. And Phoenix was well within her right to say that, because, like, somebody, thinks it's supposed to be your friend, who minutes ago was just saying, come on, let's get out of here, but then immediately just turns on you and just leaves you there to fend for yourself. Like, it was bullshit. And then let's not forget the fucking words that she said, like, oh, had I been the one to find you in the bathroom, I would have left you there to die. Bitch, fuck you. And I was about to say die slow, but then I remembered that she actually did get killed. I was surprised when they pulled Liz out to kill her, because I was like, Phoenix don't fuck with her like that. Like, Phoenix is a very compassionate person, and granted, she be wanting to beat people's ass, but she never actually like wishes like the absolute worst, unless it's people like Justin, who actually like deserve to fucking die. But like, she saw Liz come out, and she's like, dude, no, y'all don't have to do this. Like, let them go. You don't need, it's not necessary. And then in the end, it turns out that Liz had been helping fucking Justin, because Justin was selling her these dreams of being with her and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Trust no one. Bitch, what? Bitch, what? Okay, and now let's circle to Drew. Now, we get introduced to Drew, and then, first of all, like I said, trust no one. So no, I did not trust Drew for a very long time. Honestly, I didn't trust Drew until the very end. I'm sorry, Drew. But at one point, when it is revealed that Phoenix has a half sibling out there, my first thought was that it was Drew. I thought it was Drew because he said that he had been adopted, and then also because up until that point he had not tried to hit on her. Now granted, everybody knows that she's with the Kings, but you know, yeah. But like up until that point he hadn't tried to, you know, flirt with her or anything or come on to her. So I honestly just thought like, oh girl, that might be your brother. That was my first thought, and I would have been okay with that. I was like, you know, that would have made sense because, you know, she feels calm around him. He's super duper sweet and nice and all this other shit, yada, yada, yada. The guys don't mind, you know, they mind, but they don't mind her hanging with him. But then what happened? What happened? Oh, it was something when Drew said something along the lines of like, yeah, if such and such and such, then, you know, I wouldn't mind dating you. And then when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, nah, they're not related. Cause then that would just be weird at the fact that he looked at her like that. And so I was just like, okay, well, that's not her brother. But I was like, okay, so if that's not her sibling, then who else is there? And it wasn't clicking. But then when we get to when their time is up, because Luciano gave them a deadline for Phoenix to hand over this evidence that they could not find, and then her and Drew leave campus because he's like, look, you're freaking out, let's go for a drive. I got nervous about Drew because I was like, y'all should not be leaving school. And, you know, Phoenix had started to say that, and he's like, what, it's just a drive, yada, yada. And I'm just like, this is a really, really bad idea. This is a terrible idea. You should not be, no. But Drew's like, it's fine, I'll text the guys, yada, yada, yada. And they get in the car, and they start driving. And I'm like, okay, I hope she's paying attention to where they're going. Like, I'm freaking out because I'm like, is this about to be revealed that Drew was in on it? I was freaking out. So bad. But then Phoenix is like, oh shit, let me, you know, reach out to the guys, let them know I'm good. And then she sees all of these texts and calls from them. And they're like, hey, where are you guys, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Drew, didn't you text the guys and let them know where we were at? And he's like, oh crap, you started, you know, saying you were in pain and I forgot, blah, blah, blah. And so I was getting nervous because I was like, oh my God, he's a part of it. But then she sees him like being weird and she's like, what is it? He's like, there's a car following us. But, you know, it's revealed that, you know, it was actually Luciano's people. They were actually being followed, blah, blah, blah. So when that went out of my head that he was a part of it, thank God. But then they get kidnapped and they wake up tied in the basement, and it completely throws me because I was like, is he about to be revealed to be her brother? Because at the time I'm just like, why would they bother taking Drew when they took her out of the car? Like, I was so confused. But then fucking Brooke shows up, and she's revealed to be her sister. And I was like, what? But it made sense because, like I said, with the Roses situation, opportunity, it was right there for her to do it. And then all the times that she was, you know, leaving Phoenix alone when she was supposed to be staying by Phoenix's side, and every time she ended up leaving Phoenix, she got attacked. That just completely blew me. Ill, okay? Brooke and Emerson, ill. Ew, barf. Barf. That is ew. I'm at a loss for words. This is so much. I'm trying to think because it was just so fucking much that happened. Oh, baby. When Phoenix is given the company, her biological dad's company, Ronald, when she's given his company, and then, you know, they go there to like look around and find stuff, and she finds that handwritten letter from him, the tears, and it fucking sucks, because I'm like, she was really handed a shitty fucking life. She had everybody who cared about her taken from her, and it is such fucking bullshit. But like, knowing that he did all of that for her, dude. Yeah, no, I cried like a baby. I think just though what threw me, I would have liked to know, like, I get it's the mafia, but like, dude, they was doing some shit for this evidence. Like, y'all done killed her whole family. Y'all trying to get this company signed over, like, to different people's hands just so y'all can get this evidence so you're not going to jail. The guys' dads, Emerson, Phoenix killing Emerson. The other two dads rotting in prison, perfection, because that's what they deserve. But Emerson's a shitty fucking piece of shit. Like, ew, why are the parents always such assholes in dark romances? I don't understand. Why? They're always heinous. Crap, I had a thought and then it just left. Crap. What was it? I'm sorry, I just finished the book, so everything is still floating around in my head. Oh, Headmaster. I love it when I'm right. Now, when I did my review for book 2, I believe I said something that, like, I was suspicious of the headmaster, not only because he was an asshole, because like I said, adults in the dark romances be assholes. They are shitty fucking humans. So I didn't have a lot of faith in the headmaster at all. But I thought it was weird when Phoenix went missing and the guys went to go talk to the headmaster, and the assistant said, oh, he took a vacation. And the guys were like, he took a vacation after break. Like, we just came back from break and he took a vacation. And I said that was weird. I said that it was weird, and I was like, that means he knows that something's going on. It's hella fucking suspicious. And I was right. Phoenix gets called to the principal or the headmaster's office, and they go, her and Mason go or whatever, and there's a new guy in there, and she's like, who are you and what happened to the other guy? And I think he said, oh, the old headmaster passed away in December. And I was just like, baby, I don't believe in coincidences and dark romances. She was like, what? She's like, damn, I hated that man, but what? Now, the new headmaster, it wasn't weird. It was just, I'm always suspicious of the adults, okay? So I wasn't expecting him to be an FBI agent, but I did think it was weird. You know, like Colt, he was just like, nah, something off with this man. I don't know. He a little iffy. I don't know what it is. He's like, I don't know the vibe that I'm getting, but it's giving weird. But finding out that he's an FBI agent, baby, shenanigans. First of all, the ending to this book, to this series, was just perfection, because you get all of your questions answered. I was left with like no questions. It was perfect. You get a rundown of what happened to the guys' dads, even though we know Emerson died, but we know that other two guys, prison, the queen bitches expelled, their families had all of their assets and their money frozen and taken. Fucking Chad got arrested at prom. I loved it. And then we get Phoenix and the guys graduating and then going to college, and then we get them graduating from college, and then we get the guys proposing to her. Like, so good, okay? So good. No, that ass. I don't know what it is about these three guys that actually make me like all of them, because in reverse harems, there's always just one guy that I want to endlessly punch in the face, or like they just have like no redeeming qualities or something like it. I don't know, but like with Dax, Mason, and Colt, like, I don't know. I love all of them. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I love them. And then Phoenix is such a fucking badass. Like, I love when she be telling them to fuck off. Like, she be getting in they ass, okay? Love her. Like, I'm actually sad that it's the end. Like, I want a little bit more. Like, I would not have minded like a novella of them, like maybe during one of their semesters in college, or like a novella of them starting this new chapter in their life, being engaged and moving to Vegas, with the guys starting in the NFL and her and Colt working at the company. Like, just a nice little small, just a nice little small novella, just a little small something, just a little bit, because I love them. Like, this book was so good. This book was so good. I have no words. But this was such a great series. I'm so happy that I stumbled across it. And now I'm gonna have to get, like, I'm gonna have to find something else to read now, because what am I supposed to read after this? Something that ended so perfectly. Like, I'm gonna go. But this series was amazing. These characters were amazing. I loved all of this. All right, I'm gonna go. But thank you for watching. I really hope you guys also enjoyed these books, but I'm gonna go.